Facebook.
Make sure your phone's off. My hair good?
You good? You look
Do I
good?
look ashy?
I mean,
Like I normally do? That's why I wore the jacket.
what you should have thought about. We
Cause
live
it-
now. It don't matter. We live now. It's too late. We on live. Right there, right, folks. What is going on, family? Good evening to you. Happy Friday. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to the Family Fun Financial Fridays. I finally got it right, but I only got it right because I got it typed in over there. So that's really that there. Doing a quick check-in, man, as always. Hoping you can both hear me and see me. Cool. So we should be good to go. All right. How's everybody doing this evening? Walter, I see you. What's up with you, fam? So good that you are here. Here early, everybody checking in. Come on in. It's Friday. Relax. Nothing really special about it, right? July 17th, 2020. Still in this up and down pandemic, in and out. Not sure what we can do, what we cannot do. Give me cornbread. See you checking in. New Philly girl. New. Welcome to the channel, right? Greetings from Delaware. Man, so glad that you are here. My beloved forever says hello. Hello. I don't believe I've seen that name before. So if you're new, welcome. So glad that you are here. Unc is in the building, Mr. Vin Hennessy himself. You Dig says, I need you to help me with my taxes. Well, by all means, shoot me an email. Obviously, I don't want to do your taxes on live because a lot of your personal information will be there. But I don't mind giving you a helping hand, right? Because that's what your favorite uncle cousin is here for, to help you get things done. So, welcome, man. You know what? Not much to really talk about tonight. It's been a long 7 days. So we are just going to talk, right? We're just going to engage with each other, have a simple conversation. This is non-scripted. So I'm really curious to see how a non-scripted live is going to go, right? Like how things are going to happen live when there is just nothing scripted. Well, I can't say nothing is scripted because I do have some things that I am going to talk about. But before I get to rambling off too much, let's go ahead and play the intro video, and we will kind of come back and get to it. Alrighty, welcome back, man. Kenny B out the gate coming in with some super chats, man. So high five to Kenny B. New Philly girl says, where am I located? Started a sole proprietorship, and she wants money back at tax time. Well, New Philly girl, I am here in SoCal representing. What do we represent in SoCal? Beaches, palm trees, snow mountains, whatever, crazy weather, high prices, everything, right? So for those of you who are just joining in, of course, my name is Tyrone Gregory. I am the self-employed tax guy, and I am also your favorite uncle cousin amongst many other hats that I wear. Let me put my title here. So yes, glad that you are here. Welcome to the show. And guess who's back? This guy, right? We have Christian in the building. He finally decided to come back and join me and help me moderate some of these comments and things like that, because I get kind of overwhelmed when I'm talking and missing everything. So if any comments are missed tonight, it's on that man right there, right? All right, so Sketches to Design, welcome. It's so good to see you. So good to see everybody that is tuning in this evening. Real quick, so Philly Girl asked a question, started a sole proprietor and want money back at tax time. I'm glad she's starting off with the question like a second. This is unscripted. But listen, Philly Girl, I don't know if you're new to the channel, maybe new to the family. but your favorite uncle cousin doesn't really favor refunds, right? So as a sole proprietor, meaning that it's just you, you're not a LLC, you're not a C corp, S corp, or anything like that. It is possible to get a refund at the end of the tax year when you file your taxes, and that is possible if, how can I say this? The way to get a refund, right? The easiest way to get a refund is to overpay. Because and I mean, if you think about what a refund is, like I'm actually working on a video that just says why refund sucks, and this is the mentality, but a refund is a return of your money. So for the most part, and I say for the most part because there are some other scenarios where you can get a refund, but for the most part, if you get a refund, especially as a small business, especially as a sole proprietor, that means that you overpaid the government. You gave them more money than you should have, and they're just simply giving it back to you. That's what a refund is. So because of that, I don't necessarily like for us to look forward to them, because if as a small business, if as a somebody who's a very serious business owner who wants to scale and grow their business up, if you're getting a refund, that is an indication that there is something wrong financially, internally, because there is no way, if you're watching your books, if you're watching what you're paying out and everything like that, if you're being real efficient and you're spending strategically, you should not be paying nobody more than you owe them. And then when they give it back to you, they give it back interest free. That's another reason. So like I said, whole video coming on that. But second, the way to get a refund is to have these things, right? Like kids, when you have kids on your tax return that's under the age of 17, meaning that they're 16 and under. Oh, yeah, there's possible, because there's certain what we call refundable credits that you can be entitled to. There's the child tax credit, but that's not a refundable credit. That just reduces your tax liability to zero. But then there's the additional child tax credit, which is the refundable amount. And as of this year, that is worth up to $1,400, so $1,400. On top of that, as a sole proprietor, meaning you file Schedule C, if the income is within a certain range, you can also qualify for what's called the earned income credit, which is a refundable credit. And I think that credit is worth up to $6,000 and some change, like maybe $6,400. I have to look at the book and see for example, but that credit is definitely worth up a lot of money. So when you combine the $6,000 plus the $1,400 per kid, yeah, refunds can get real big. Now, if you're getting a refund in that instance, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the books, right? You're getting that because you have children and you're receiving the benefit of the children. But it also means that you're in a certain range, right? Because I said, to get the earned income credit, you have to make below a certain amount, okay? I'm not going to really get into it all, because that right there, that's a topic that really grinds my gears right there. But I really want to explain it because I want us to have that mentality. So trust me, that video is coming soon. We'll talk about refunds and being self-employed, okay? What else here? So what else is going on? So real quick, I am going to put this on the screen because we're a few minutes in. I guess I'm going to wait. I'm going to see. Give me a second. Let me check some things out. So while I'm doing that, man, how y'all doing this evening? This is Friday. Is everybody feeling good? We're relaxed. About to pull something in on the screen here tonight. Any other questions that you guys may have? And, you can ask me anything at this point so I can go ahead and get this ready. Okay. Yes. Let's see. He said, I'm finding it hard to find a bank that offers small business account that doesn't have high balance requirement or a lot of fees. Great question. I'm going to bring that up. Mr. Cheyenne Simmons, I see you. You definitely agree with me there because you are the financial guru. Definitely. He said, now this is the financial guru agreeing with me, saying that if you get a tax refund, that means you gave the government an interest-free loan. Absolutely. That's absolutely what that means. But let me go back to the question from Sketches to Design. Is there, before I answer the question, is there a specific reason that you want a quote-unquote business bank account? And the reason I ask that is because I highly, strongly encourage people when you have a business to have a separate bank account. And the reason I encourage that is because you don't want to commingle business and personal. You never want to do that. A lot of people do it. I strongly recommend against it because if anything ever comes up, if there's ever an audit, if there's ever something that needs to go to court, by it being commingled, you automatically put yourself at a disadvantage. So you never want to do that. So never commingle business and personal. With that being said, the idea of a business bank account is no more than I don't want to say a manipulation, but it's almost like that, right? Because what's the difference between a regular checking account and a business bank account? Absolutely nothing on the surface, right? And even if we go a little bit deeper, they both are accounts where you can deposit money and you can use your debit card to make transactions, and it's recorded on the bank statement. In its core, that's all a business bank account is. Now, there are certain advantages of having a business bank account, because if you have a business bank account, then you can probably get a merchant account, which you can use credit cards and things like that. Having a business bank account may give you access to business loans and things like that. But if you're not specifically looking for that type of deal right now, then you can just go open up a separate checking account and use that for business. Because yes, these banks out there, they want you to have minimum $5,000 daily balance in the bank. And if you don't have that $5,000 in the bank, then they're going to charge you penalties, which is terrible. Personally, I use U.S. Bank. That is the bank that I bank with. I don't know if there's a U.S. Bank in your area, but if there's a U.S. Bank, I highly suggest maybe checking them out, because for the basic business checking account, I think I put in $100 just to open the account. There was no minimum balances. There was nothing really major with it. I just put $100 in and said, okay, open up the account. Cool. They gave me the card in my business name. I've been using it. It's connected to my Zero, which is the bookkeeping system that I'm using. So I'm tracking everything, and it's working out just fine. It only cost me $100. Okay. But one thing to keep in mind when searching for bank accounts, when looking at bank accounts, is those transaction limits. Like some bank says, okay, you can do 100 transactions in a month, versus if you pay a lot of money down, you can do 1,000 transactions in a month. So really break down, just consider everything that you're going to be needing before opening up a business bank account. And again, specifically, it doesn't have to be titled a business bank account. You can open up a separate account and use that account for your business transactions. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's see here. What else kind of comments we gonna see to see the man? He tripped. He ain't putting no comments on the screen.
Wait for you to done.
Oh, you wait for me to be done? You should have been ready to go. As soon as you heard me pause, you put a comment on the screen. Here we go. Okay. To separate funds, and if someone writes a check, I want it to be made out to the business and not me personally. You know what? That is an excellent point. I will say that. That is a good reason to have a business bank account, because if somebody writes a check and you want it made out to you. I don't know who would write checks nowadays, but I'm glad you made that point, and I didn't. That is the only reason that you would want a business account under the business name, so you can actually cash a check that is written out to the business as opposed to you. Because if you go in and just open up a separate checking account under your name and the check is written in the business name, yeah, you won't be able to cash it unless you go to that person's bank, cash it right there in front, and then take the cash and put it in your account. But I get what you're saying. So in that case, yes, look at U.S. Bank. They are the best, in my opinion. That's who I use. Obviously, I'm not an affiliate for them, so this is not like an upsell. It's just who I use personally. Okay? Let's see what else we got going on here. I have a DBA, so I'll need a business account. Yes, right? Especially if you have a DBA because you want to do business in that name. Absolutely. Get that. Make it happen. Let's see here. We got more coming in. Somebody says, if only one spouse is in business and the other has a W-2 filing jointly, do losses reduce the W-2? If you're filing jointly and there's a loss from the business, yes, it is definitely going to offset the income that is on that joint return. So that's what I say. Don't ever be afraid to claim your losses if they are legitimate, that is, because we know some people like to pad the numbers, right? So if it's not padded, it's legitimate, and there's a loss result from that, by all means, absolutely go ahead and do so. Okay, so before we get too far in, I am going to put something on the screen here. Hold on one second. I need to fix the Facebook feed. Give me a second. Okay. Nah, okay. Always tech issues, I promise you guys. It'd be something else. Whoa. What is going on today? Wow. Okay. Facebook is always doing something different, but let's do this here because I want to make sure everybody comes in. So give me a second. All right, so now we should start seeing people from the Facebook, but let me do this. Put this here. All right, so last week, I talked about how bad do you want it? Meaning that when you look at what it is you're trying to achieve, right? How bad do you really want to achieve it? How much of a sacrifice are you willing to make? How much determination do you have? How much discipline do you have? How bad do you really want it? And with that, I actually, towards the end of the video, I said, I'm watching who was commenting, right? I'm watching who's here in the chat. I saw who was here in the chat, and I wanted to hear from those who was here watching what you did within the last 7 days, right? Because from Friday to this Friday, what did you do in the last 7 days to prove that you wanted that bad? I'm willing to hear your story, but like I said, I was watching. I know who's here, so I'm gonna share my screen with you because there is a list of individuals. I wrote your names down. I did like Santa Claus. I made a list, and I'm checking it twice to see who's, well, I don't know who's naughty or nice. I can't tell that. But we can see who, no, we can't see, can we? Because I don't know what y'all did. I'm going to take you at your word that if your name is on this list, I want you to share with us what you did in the last 7 days to prove that you wanted it just that bad. So here it is. Here's everybody who was on here last night. I got your names on here. If you see your name on there, yep. I am going to ask that you share with us what you did in the last 7 days to prove that you want it bad enough. Okay? So, yep. Just kind of scan through if you see your name. And if you didn't put anything chat in the comment and you was just here, you got lucky because I couldn't see who was actually here watching live. I just go based on the chat. Okay. Good names. Okay. A lot of names, really. Yeah. I'm seeing, yeah. My mother. She don't always be in the chat, but she messed up and told me that she gonna commit. That's why she's on there. So moms ain't exempt from this. Y'all ready? All right. So let me exit out of here and kind of get back. What? Oh man, I see. Let's see here. Working on the client's website. Okay. Unc is really putting himself in there, but real quick, I see that somebody. Most man, welcome, man. Good to see you. Good to see you back. Appreciate you for the
High five.
Super chat. High five to you. Says just bought the accounting textbooks for one of the college class. That's a lifelong knowledge that can never be taken away. Indeed. Sending us both good vibes, man. So me and Christian, we definitely appreciate it, man. Congratulations to you. Yes, learning how money works is probably one of the greatest things we can do just in general, okay? Because money is pretty much driving everything. You know, it's amazing how money drives everything. Like if you've heard the story, right? The Washington Redskins are now going to change their name. But it was funny, like this is nothing new. People have been requesting that they change the name for years. For years, that name request has been on the books. It has been ignored. But when the sponsors say, look, we can't roll with you if y'all don't fix that. We can't sponsor you. We can't give you our money if you don't fix that. And as soon as the money became an issue, oh man, we got to change this. Let's change it now. So yes, understanding how money works is a beautiful thing. It's very powerful, man. So most man, congratulations to you again. Appreciate it. So again, for those of you who are on that list, you saw your name. What did you do to prove that you wanted it? Oh man, give me cornbread. Submitted several proposals for new businesses. I am curious to know how that turned out. That's absolutely amazing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pause. I want us, being the beautiful group that we are, I want us to take a moment and just let us all congratulate Miss Gimme Cornbread. She gets a couple of high fives, right? And here's what.
High five.
She actually, I think it was Monday, if I'm not mistaken, Monday, submitted her resignation letter. She quit her job to pursue her business, to pursue her passion. That is absolutely amazing. Hand clap to you, high five to you. So happy, so proud that you did that, man. When she sent me that information, she, I was more than just overjoyed. Because this is something that we have been talking about back and forth, and there was a little bit of hesitation there. But after talking through it and walking through it, we saw that there was no reason to stay, and she did it. Now she's on her own, and look at that. Even within the last 7 days, she submitted that resignation and got proposals out for business. Man, congratulations. Yes, another high five to Miss Gimme Cornbread. We are so excited, so proud of you, right? Man, look at all them congratulations. Y'all are absolutely amazing. That's why I absolutely love y'all. So let me go back and see, because I know Mr. Commenter back here ain't really sending me no feed. So
I've been doing it.
you've been doing it? Okay. So New Philly Girl says, I got the business license, registered with Yelp, Google, found T&D and Bake, Chase business accounts to compare for my account. Good. Business license, always needed because that gives you permission from your city, county, or jurisdiction. Always good to have you. The less you have to worry about dealing with, the better. So always do it right from the beginning. So glad to hear that you did that. Okay, Walter said, I hate to say it, but did get around to it this week. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, because I love the transparency, right? To me, that right there is brave, is bold, right? Nobody wants to be like, I didn't do it. So what? Things happen. Life happened. The whole, like I said, it's a mixed bag tonight because these last 7 days has been extremely extreme for me. It's been real interesting wrapping up the last days of tax season, right? It was wow. Yeah, absolutely busy these last 7 days. So I understand if you don't get around to it. I appreciate your honesty, appreciate the transparency. I'm just here as your favorite Uncle Cousin, just to be your accountability partner. I want to make sure that we are held accountable, because one thing that I've learned, if there's no accountability, things just go willy-nilly, right? Like I'm glad that my children, my wife, my family, they hold me accountable, because when they see me just willy-nilly, what you doing? You said you got a lot of work going on. What you do? Granted, they let me relax sometimes. Yeah, but they also keep me on top of everything here. Let's see here. Felicia Nelson says, working on my site and I'm looking to get a seller's permit or tax ID for my business. Is this the right wording? Because I can't find it. So working on the website. Good. That shows how bad you want it. You're pushing through. You're getting that done. The tax ID number, again, tax ID numbers aren't necessarily needed. The true name for a tax ID number is an employee identification number, or EIN, hence the word employees. If you're not going to have employees, you really don't need an EIN unless you're going to open up a business bank account and they require you to have one. That's the only reason I would get an EIN. You talk about the seller's permit. It's known by a couple of names, right? Seller's permit, wholesaler's license, things like that. As long as the license allows you to buy things in bulk without paying taxes, you have the right license. I don't know what it's called in your area, but most of the time, the seller's permit, wholesaler's license, same thing. It allows you to buy items in bulk without paying tax on it, and then you do what you need to mark it up, sell it. But when you sell, you have to charge sales tax. You have to collect that sales tax, and you have to give it to the proper authority. Okay, so that's the only thing. When you get a seller's permit, they are going to automatically assume that you are making sales, that you should be withholding sales tax and giving it to the proper authority that collects it. So keep that in mind. Okay. What else we got going on? Who else did something amazing? Let's see here. So I said I was setting up an office location in Nevada last week to expand. Oh man, wow, expansion. That's a beautiful thing. In Nevada. Now y'all know Sean, he was here, the financial guru, multiple business. He's expanding now to Nevada. That's just how bad he wants it. That's actually amazing. I ain't there yet. I'm stuck. I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna stay here for a minute. Got a few things to do, but I have been talking with some very great people about what it means to actually expand your business, and that conversation is cool, real cool. Okay. Real quick, I see Felicia Nelson comment says, if you are selling items online, is it a seller's permit or a tax ID? Hopefully, Felicia, I clarified that question, knowing that the tax ID is separate from the seller's permit. Those two things are completely different. Hopefully, I cleared that up. If not, please let me know in the actual chat. There's another one I see here from You Dig that says the hot topic right now is this COVID money, and I need to file a tax return to get it. So what You Dig is talking about, it is a hot topic right now, is the extension of the PPP, right, the payroll protection loan, and the extension of the EIDL, which is from the SBA. Well, they're both from the government. But the PPP you can pretty much get from any bank, right, from any fintech, PenPal, Square. Those two, they offer PPP loans. Your traditional bank, you can get a PPP loan. And then there's the EIDL, which stands for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. And that specifically comes from the SBA, which is still a branch of the government. And to get that, yes, you need to, well, how can I say this? It depends. Depending on who you go to, they're going to ask for your 2019 tax return, because all of these loans, the PPP and the EIDL, are all based around your 2019 tax return. If you are an individual sole proprietor, you file a Schedule C, they are going to want the information off your line 31 off your 2019 Schedule C. Okay? And the math is simple. You take line 31, divide it by 12, multiply it by 2.5. That number that you get as a result is the maximum amount that you would qualify for the PPP loan. Okay, remember that there are two different ones. The formula that I just gave is for the PPP. Now, here's the thing about the PPP and what everybody is doing right now. Like I said, depending on where you go, some people don't have their 2019 filed yet, but there's a language in the application that says you can guesstimate it. Okay? So I would be careful with that, because you don't want to pad the numbers too much so you can get a bigger loan and then not actually be able to substantiate that. Okay? So I think they've extended it till September. The last I checked, they may have extended it again. So get your taxes right, like do everything right accordingly to what you need to do, then apply for the loan. The EIDL, again, they let you self-certify. This is the SBA. This is something different than the PPP. If you're asking for the EIDL, it's a very simple application process. Just make sure that everything matches. Okay? Make sure that whatever the government has on file for your business matches the application. So the address has to match, the phone number has to match, the bank account has to match. Everything has to be in the name of the business. If not, you risk getting rejected. And it's a very easy application. I don't think nobody would need any assistance from anywhere. As long as you have your tax return, you're good. For the PPP, for the EIDL, you can self-certify. You can say, I estimate that I made this amount, even though I haven't filed yet, but this is what I estimate. You can do that, so just be careful with that. Okay? Hopefully I answered your question, You Dig. Let's see here. April Davis says, I have a home child care, and that's one of the reasons why I opened the business account for the SBA. Okay. Yeah, so definitely because you get it. And here's another thing about those loans. You have to use them for working capital. You just can't take the money and go buy a new car. You can't take the money and just go do whatever you want to do with it. It is specifically used for working capital, meaning your bills, right? Your accounts payable, the things that you need to keep your business in running order. Whatever that is, that's what it's supposed to be used for. So if you get it, if you apply for it and you approve for it, track everything. Track every single expense. So if they come auditing, which I believe they will, although so much going on. I don't know how much they'll able to get through, but it's always a 50-50 chance that you'll be in their group that gets audited. So always keep yourself secure. But track everything and make sure that everything you spent that money on, that you identified it as being part of your working capital. Okay? Cool. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. How long you must be in business to qualify for the PPP? Again, 2019. Everything is based off of 2019. There are certain instances, I think, I'm not quite sure, but so don't quote me on it, but I do believe the EIDL only requires that you have been in business before February 2020. Okay? If that's the case, that's why they say I think you can estimate it. But for the PPP, definitely has to be in 2019 because that's the number they're looking at. So if you just started this year in January, unfortunately, you won't be able to get the PPP because you don't have any documentation to get a PPP. So if you just started this year in January and you've been affected, go for the EIDL. Okay? What else here? What else we got? Oh, man. Okay. The EIDL is basically awarded by way of $1,000 per employee up to a maximum of 10 employees. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Man, Sean going to have to come back on here and we can do a whole section on that, just talking about that. Okay. Let's see. Is that Michael? My brother Michael down in the building? Boy, why you? See, that's what I'm talking about. That man right there be tripping. He ain't put everything through. Michael from That's Good Mac. Well, I guess I got a lot of friends that cook. But Michael from That's Good Mac, good to see you, man. Glad to see that you are here. What else we got on? Let's see here. Yes. New equipment, new office files. For the EIDL, equipment may not be the greatest thing, especially with the people. Well, especially for the PPP. The PPP is specifically for payroll. Okay, that's why it's called a payroll protection program loan. The PPP loan. Okay, that if you use it for anything other than payroll, you may run into some issues. Also, if you use the PPP, and they changed it now. If 60% of that is used for payroll, then they actually forgive you for it. You don't have to pay it back. It becomes at that point a tax-free loan that you receive. You don't have to report on your income. You don't have to pay it back. The only thing is the drawback to that is that as of now, if you do get the loan forgiven, any expenses that you paid with the forgiven money, you can't write it off. So plan for that, because if you can't write it off, that means your taxable income goes up. And guess what happens when your taxable income goes up? So does your tax. So definitely be careful of that. All right. Break time. For me, that is. I'm thirsty. My mouth, yeah.
Answer 40 questions. Answer 40 questions.
Did I? Woo. All right. So, going back to the list, right? Last week, how bad do you want it? And congratulations to everybody who did what they needed to do. Which led me to like a thought. Like I was just writing things down on a piece of paper because, like I said, I didn't have anything here. But the reason why we talk about how bad do you want it, the part two to that is why you should do it. And that's a very simple answer. Very simple answer. I was thinking like, man, I talked about, how bad do you want it? But then why you should do it? Like, why? And I'm going to be honest with you, because it feels freaking amazing. On the other side of fear, on the other side of guilt, on the other side of self-doubt and anxiety and all these other things that can hold us back, on the other side of that is absolute joy, absolute amazement, I mean, there is, wow. And the only reason I say that because we are going to celebrate tonight. I want to celebrate all of you who pressed forward to do it. All of you who actually did some amazing things. As a matter of fact, can you go get the drink out the freezer for me? I appreciate it, sir. I want to celebrate you tonight. And while we're doing that, I see some comments coming in. Most of them said, how do you continue to stay so sharp and ahead of the curve in regards to your profession? I'm sure it may get mentally or spiritually exhausting. My expertise is impressive. Man, thank you. How do I continue to stay so sharp? That's crazy. I don't consider myself sharp all that. So I take the compliment and say thank you. Yeah, champagne. We're going to pop this bottle tonight, y'all. But you know what? I believe, Moose Man, that it comes from a place of passion. I love what I do. I've realized that if I'm gonna be honest here, if I'm gonna make a confession on live, right, both YouTube and Facebook, I really don't like doing taxes. If I'm really being honest, I don't like preparing taxes. What I love is teaching, and preparing taxes is my gateway to teaching. So I love what I do. Preparing taxes allows me to see what's happening on the inside. Okay, me researching these tax laws and seeing how they're affecting people that sit with me, that allows me to be like, oh man, okay, people need to know about this. We need to be aware of this. So I love what I do. And because I love what I do, I immerse myself in it, even doing the things I don't want to do just so I can get a result. And I do believe by us doing that and us being willing, and I'm saying us because I know you're going to do the exact same, by us willing to share that information, and I think that's what keeps us, I guess, ahead of the curve, so to speak, because, some people get the information and they don't share it. They just be like, okay, maybe I'll share it with my family, my circle, my friends. But I believe it's things we all need to know. So I'm going to crack. I guess I can't. We about to pop open this bottle. Did y'all hear that? Oh, it's too late. Okay. It feels it already. Yeah, we going. So, hey, while I'm doing this, me and the young one, because just to let you know, this ain't real champagne. I ain't gonna give champagne to a youngster. This is that Martinelli's sparkling apple cider. He ain't gonna be drinking with me on camera. But while I'm doing this, if you got something in your hand, I want all of us to toast to what is happening. Toast to give me cornbread. I think I saw Uncle Vin said he had done some things. Everybody who said they had done some things, all of you starting your businesses despite what's happening during this pandemic. Congratulations to you. And then the reason I wanted to toast tonight, because something very, very special happening for me on Wednesday. And what that was is I completed my very first tax season as what's the word I'm looking for? As an entrepreneur, right? Like for the past 13 years, I've always worked for a major retail company in tax prep. I finally left that job last year in April, told them I wasn't coming back. And this year, July 15th, completed my first tax season as an independent, as an entrepreneur. And it was an absolute amazing journey, right? My first time doing it on my own, being in an office, doing everything. Of course, I had those emotions that every entrepreneur had, like, man, is this going to work? Am I going to have to go back to corporate America? Am I doing it right? Do I have everything? And am I giving my customers the absolute best that I can give them? Was I trained? All them things was in my mind, but I made it and it feels good. That's why I say, how bad do you want it? Because what's on the other side is absolutely amazing. I felt so good come the 15th, even though it was a long, exhausting day. I was just surprised how many people, wait to the very last minute to get there. And some things are understandable, right? But it was just a very long, exhausting day. But I made it. I'm happy I made it. I'm glad I did it. It allows me to do things like this because in corporate America, I couldn't. I'm glad that I decided to step out because here I am with my new family. So for me, I'm celebrating that. I'm doing, glasses up to Gimme Cornbread for giving in that resignation. Glasses up to Mr. Simmons for going out to Nevada to expand. Glasses up to my mother, who she may not be here on the chat, but she's starting her business. This, called, what I don't want to put it out there too bad. She might not want me to, but my mother is starting her business, and of course I'm gonna help her with it. But congratulations to her. I know my good friend Maria. I don't think I've seen her on the chat, but she finished her first year of tax season as an independent. So congratulations to her. Man, so congratulations to everybody. Glasses up. Toast to you. Here's the cheers. Yes, 2020 ain't nothing stopping us. Pandemic, nothing, ain't nothing stopping us because we in for life. We in it. Yes. Congratulations to everybody. Okay, New Philly girl says she's drinking water with lemon water with flaxseed, chia seeds, grapeseed extract, vitamin C, powder, fresh green, wormwood complex, black seed oil, garlic bulb. Anything I drink will keep me healthy. Well, cheers to you. Woo! All right. That hit differently. Just say that. Man, so again, congratulations to everybody who's ever done anything. Congratulations to whatever. Gimme Cornbread said I have a cold Diet Coke. Good. Drink it. Glasses up. We are congratulating ourselves. We did a lot of things. We overcame with and this is just the beginning. Right? Remember, I think last week I said that I was operating on maybe 50% capacity. But no, now I'm setting it up as to where I can be extremely productive, extremely on point. I'm trying to get to 100 and see what's that like. Because on the other side is absolutely amazing. Okay? And the coach says she's late. Yeah, you late because I had your name on the screen from last week asking what it is you did to prove how bad you want it. But that's okay. You here. We can always come back to it and catch the replay, but I'm glad that you are here. So, with that, what else did I did a brain dump on this paper. Make sure I didn't miss everything. Okay. Speaking of brain dumps, have y'all ever done a brain dump? You know what a brain dump is? That's when you kind of just like everything that's on your mind at that present moment, you just write it down on paper. Okay? I suggest for productivity purposes that you do a brain dump often. I mean, where's it at? I do brain dump so much. I just got papers in my file cabinet. I'm going to just kind of show you with like junk scribbled all on it just because I'm just dumping things in my brain as I get to it. Because if not, I forget it. It'd be times where I'll be driving and I'll be like, oh man, I need to, okay. And I'll be trying to practice like repeating it to myself so I don't forget it. Till I get to a place where I can write it down, and then get to a place where I can write it down, and I forgot what I wanted to write down. It kills me. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Indigo says what? I did. Says she was making shirts, was working good. That's how bad you want it. I'm so glad that you were actually doing that. Got a question? All right. Put it in there. Let's see.
Well, it's not really a question.
Not a question, but it's.
Yeah, something.
Let's say my problem is I have written off so many deductions on my taxes that I don't qualify for a home even though I make the money. I'll end up having to pay tons of taxes this year if I want to qualify. You know what, Ms. Davis, you're absolutely right. I've seen that situation a lot. this year. So I'm excited that there's a lot more people trying to get into investments, trying to buy a home and things like that. But there is that rock and a hard spot situation, because on one end, if you show low enough income, you don't pay a lot of taxes, right? But in order to qualify for a home, the income has to be high, meaning that you're going to pay a lot of taxes. So it's always that rock in that hard spot, right? My suggestion, Ms. Davis, is to really look at your structure. Is there a way that you can maybe structure it differently to save money on taxes, right? Maybe it's the self-employment tax that's hitting you. So maybe depending on your income level, you can consider forming an LLC and having taxes as an S corp to kind of save on that level. And if you don't know how, or you don't know one else to do it for you, by all means, shoot me an email, reach out to me, and maybe you and I can kind of go through it and we can see if that'll work. I'm not promising that it will, but it's still good to run the numbers. Y'all know me. I love run me them numbers so we can see what works. Okay? What we got? We got some more coming in, okay?
You ain't the only one.
I ain't the only one. What? I do brain dumps often. Okay, notebooks all over the house. Yeah, my kid to tell you, boy, I go out and buy a new notebook almost every week. Me and the 99 cent store. I walk in, they know me. They leave another book. Yep. Sketches to design sites. Do brain dumps when I write my things to do list, and I sort it out afterwards. Absolutely. Doing brain dumps allows us to look at, okay, what is the thought process? Can we organize this and make it happen? Absolutely. Let's see here. So I do brain dumps and write it on my planner, or else I'll forget. Yes, absolutely. I got to remember where I put things too, so don't feel bad. That's why I'm glad that we are being completely honest here. I thought I saw someone say something about a business plan. Was that a question?
He was answering a question in the comments.
Huh?
Answering a question in the comments.
I was answering my question in the comment. Oh. New Philly Girl said, business plan writers, anyone. You know what, New Philly Girl? Well, first of all, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad the New Philly Girl did that. We're getting close to the time, so I'm about to really wrap this up. I want to make sure that we are networking with each other. I want to highlight people, and I want to highlight y'all and what y'all do. I really want to, so we can network with each other. So I haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna do it, but if you're willing to share your business and what it is that you do, let me know, because I want to highlight it. I want us to know, like New Philly Girl said, does anybody write business plans? If that's something that you do, which maybe give me cornbread, I was going to say so, but if that's something that you do, write business plans, or you know how to write a business plan and you're willing to help out, by all means, let me know so I want to pull together our resources. I think the way that we will win, the way that we will succeed is if we pull our resources together. I like writing. I mean, the idea of me writing a business plan is that it doesn't have to be that complicated, right? As long as you understand everything that goes into a business plan, it's easy. A business plan is a simple Q&A. I think where we may have trouble is we don't know what questions to ask. And don't worry, I'm working on something for that. But if there is somebody who knows business plans, by all means, let us know. Okay? Got a question? Bring it on, son. Appreciate it. Wife wants to sell, I can't pronounce that word, clothing. What do I need to legally to set that up? Let me ask the question. Is the clothing, I couldn't pronounce that name. That sounds very expensive. Is that her brand? Or is she trying to be a retailer for that brand? So if it's her brand, there's really nothing she needs to do legally, right? When we talk about legal, I'm assuming we're talking about contracts, talking about copyright infringement, trademark infringement, business licenses and things like that. Legally, if it's her brand, only thing she has to do is make sure that she has the seller's permits. Okay? Because again, when you have a seller's permit or wholesaler's license, you have to collect sales tax and give it to the agency that's responsible for collecting it. That's it. If she's trying to do it for like a retail it, make sure that she has permission to sell it, right? Because then you can get into copyright and trademark infringement. So make sure that there's a license in place to sell that product, and go from there. And then also still make sure that you have your business license from your city, county, or jurisdiction, and your seller's permit. Those are the only two things that I would say is needed legally from a legal perspective to go ahead and start selling that thing right there. Okay. New Philly Girl says, I need a website. Man, you know what's funny? Even though this last 7 days had me all over the place, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about on Friday? I had made a list of things that small businesses need, and the website is one of them. And there's so many, how can I say, man, there's so many tools out there to get a website. I know a lot of people like Wix because it's drag and drop. If that kind of box style website works for you, where you can just drag and drop and it kind of almost looks like everybody else, right? A little bit of customization. If that works for you, then Wix is perfectly fine. I actually have a video series on YouTube called, Why You Need a Website, or How to Design a Website. Something dealing with websites. It's a video series that I made on YouTube that kind of walks you through the basics of getting a website and getting it together. All my websites I've built myself, and I use it. There's a theme called B Theme, but it's truly customizable. I will say, you have to have some knowledge of HTML, which if you Google W3 schools, you can learn HTML like that, right? I mean, I'm no genius. I am no genius, but I do a lot of things myself just so if I need to hire somebody, I can have that conversation. I know what they're talking about. I know the ins and outs. So, again, if anybody on here builds websites, say so, right? Because somebody strictly said they need one, okay? Let's see what else here. What else we got? Christian, nothing else? No? Okay. Oh, Sketchy to Design says, I have a degree in, wait a minute. You sign up to be a consultant to sell that brand. Okay. But then I think I understood that. If I didn't, forgive me. But let's see. Sketchy to Design says, I have a degree in graphic design as well as in English with a concentration in public. Okay, so are you saying, Sketchy to Design, that you can help with web design as well? Because I do believe that is the actual issue there. But graphics on your website is absolutely important. Absolutely important. That is what makes or break a website. So Sketchy to Design, if you have that availability, by all means, please let us know. Okay. Let's see here. What else I want to talk about? Oh, what's coming up next before we get out of here? I want to say, first of all, I know this was like a little mixed bag. It was just freestyling. Very interesting to see how it turned out. I appreciate all of you with the engagement. Next week, I think I am going to talk about the tools needed for entrepreneurship. We'll talk about that. Also coming up, I'm definitely want to talk about how to brand your business, as branding is important. And it's something that we need to discuss because branding is becoming limited. Because I read something recently that said the U.S. PTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, is running out of trademarks. So we really got to focus on our brand. And I was like, that's kind of scary when I read that. But we'll talk about building a brand. Lastly, is there anyone here that's in Southern California? If you are, let me know. And the reason I'm asking is because I may be having a mini meetup You know, John Phillips from Create Simple Meals kind of gave me an idea. Or he put a bug in my ear, and I just kind of want to run with it to maybe have like a small meetup, maybe like 5 people max. We'll meet up at the location where he creates the meal. And while he's cooking us a fresh gourmet meal, I'll be streaming live, and we'll just kind of be doing, live coaching 1-on-1 while we get a free meal. But, of course, it's going to be happening in Southern California. So if you live somewhere here in Southern California, let me know. Because, again, I can only accept 5 people to do so. And then once I get those 5, we'll set a date. We'll make it happen. So let's see here. It is now going on 7 o'clock. Man, do you want to say anything? You got any questions? You never have any questions. You good to go. All right, my friend. So it's time for us to go ahead, as always, and wrap it up. So much. Again, congratulations. We have so much to be thankful for. We are here. We are above ground. We are well. Y'all are absolutely amazing. The best audience anybody can ask for. So engaging. So thoughtful, so everything, man. Glad to see everybody talking about what they doing. See us next week. Yes. Thank you for everybody who's being here. All the comments, all the encouragement, all the congratulations. Of course, if you're new here, consider subscribing, because this is what we talk about. This is what we do a lot, right? Every Friday at 6 p.m. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you give me a follow, a like, thumbs up, hit me up on social media, because there's a lot of interesting things happen on Instagram. Man, I'm going to have to show y'all what happened today. Very interesting. Again, cheers to you. Much love from your favorite Uncle Cousin. Congratulations to everybody who went past that level, who went past their fears and beyond, did everything they needed to do. Much. Again, I'm going to give everybody
High five.
High five. You put it there. And you know what, guys? I